Hey ladies and gents, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for coming back. Today, ladies and gents, I'm bringing you a review of the new foreign documentary from Russia called Welcome to Chechnya. As you may know, Welcome to Chechnya is about an organisation that help protect gay people or help smuggle them out of the country because of the levels of homophobia in Russia and how the law doesn't enforce against homophobia and in fact in a way and in fact very strongly kind of encourages it. But before I get to that, ladies and gents, please remember to like, subscribe and comment if you think extra interested, ding little bell. And also, as always, please scan these barcodes, go to links in the comments, or follow the names right on your screens to follow my social medias. Wow. Welcome to Chechnya is a harrowing watch from start to finish. And whilst I always knew what the levels of homophobia that went on all around the world, I didn't realise it was this bad in these countries, which just seem so relevant to us. Like, you know, Russia isn't exactly like a small country, it's the biggest in the world, and to see that things like this happen to this day is like, oh, it makes you feel sickened. The thing I'll start off first with Welcome to Chechnya is the directing. It's a very well told story. They decided to tell it from the approach of, instead of just sitting down with a load of victims who've escaped, it's shot in Russia, which was a very brave and rare thing to do, and they secretly recorded the victims. And obviously, I want to say it now in case you guys think, oh well, what dickheads are they? They obviously did do something to hide the victim's identity, which you all probably know, but if not, I'm going to get to that soon. But to do that was a really just clever way to really get across, because it's all well and good having people sit down and be like, oh, this happened to me and it was awful, but to really like see it as it happens and unfold and just see how traumatized and desperate these people are and just how unhappy they are that they can't just live the lives that they want, when all they want to do is be happy with the people that they love, when they're not doing anything wrong but hurting anybody, is a really sad thing. And to see it from that perspective and to just watch as it happens instead be told was a really powerful way to tell the story. Something else I also really liked and appreciated about Welcome to Chechnya was just how aggressively it went after the people who were in charge. So the leader of Chechnya, Vladimir Putin, because for a documentary like this they could go into the history of like, oh, this is why gay people start being treated badly, etc, etc, but to just have it so blatantly straightforward, like, this is happening, it may have been like this in the past, but it's wrong now. We know there's nothing wrong being gay. We know that there's no reason to believe being gay is a mental health disorder. And just basically just very blatantly and obviously be like, fuck you, Vladimir Putin, look what you're doing to these people, is quite brave. And I'm glad that they didn't try to defend it or go into the history of it, because it may have been like that in the past, but there's no excuse for it now, and it's something that I really respect about Welcome to Chechnya. Welcome to Chechnya is also very well paced in terms of, you very much feel like when watching, without it being blatantly said, this is a race against time and these people are in desperate dangers. It's just shocking to me that like the law doesn't protect gay people. And I was watching an interview with Vladimir Putin about gay rights and his like approach to it, and he basically said, oh, it's not illegal to be gay in Russia, but at the same time it is, because they're not punishing these people who are homophobic at all. Like, like in the documentary they make it very clear that the Russian government are almost proud to a point of like they just allow gay people to be assaulted, raped and abused, because if they're being honest, they may not say it in law, but they hate gay people, and it's a really sad reality. And the fact that these people had to be so protected, and the fact they're not even allowed to go out of their bins whilst they're in hiding, it really just adds this level to intensity which you just wouldn't expect would even have to be a problem. It's crazy. Welcome to Chechnya uses a tactic where they obviously, this film features a lot of real life victims as it's all actually happening. So obviously they don't want to expose their identity, but equally the filmmaker didn't want to have a whole documentary where everyone's faces are blurred out, because that would just, it just wouldn't look good for a whole documentary. So he took a Captain Marvel, the Irishman approach, but even better, he literally just changed the appearances of these victims. And I completely forgot about this when watching it. It was only when after I watched it I remembered, oh yeah, that's that visual effects film that got snubbed for the Oscar. You wouldn't know that these are fake faces. It looks so real and convincing. And I haven't seen all the documentaries, so I can't really talk about whether I think the documentary, this was a documentary snub, but oh my god, this is such a visual effects snub. I would say this maybe even deserves the win. I can't believe it didn't make it in. The only way I can justify it is maybe they just didn't have like the money or the time, or they were campaigning other stuff, so they couldn't really get across. Because I can imagine maybe some Oscar voters watched it and literally went, "Where are the visual effects?" Because it's that convincing. Yeah, this may be one. This is one of the biggest snuffs of this award season. The visual effects are so amazing and really help tell the story. Going to negatives of Welcome to Cheshire, the one main one I have is every now and then it will cut to real life footage of gay people being assaulted, raped, beaten. And I get the point of it. It's really meant. It's trying to aggressively just show you. It's trying to like hold your head and be like, look at this. Look, this is what's happening. And I get the point of it. My problem with this is that it doesn't have a trigger warning, which I'm not against violence or anything in films because it's a film, fair enough. But when it's meant to be real, my problem with it did take me out of Welcome to Cheshire a bit, and I don't know if that was their point, but I couldn't concentrate on it because there are just some parts in it which are just so horrific, and it's real, and I get why they did it, but the problem with it from a professional standpoint is that it's really hard if you're a person with just half a heart. It's really hard to keep on watching and concentrate when you're just watching these horrific things happen to real life people. And then my other issue with Welcome to Cheshire is an issue of a lot of documentaries. It does sometimes waste time. I do feel like if they could cut some of these bits where it's just like them in this safe house socializing, if they could just cut that by 10 minutes, this would be a much better paced documentary, and it would help me give it a higher score. But nonetheless, Welcome to Cheshire is a harrowing, powerful documentary about the treatment of gay people around the world, and ultimately its message is, it's as simple as, just be kind, ladies and gents, just be nice to people. You don't have to understand people, but as long as they're not affecting you, just leave them alone and let them get on with their lives. And I'm going to give Welcome to Cheshire a 7 out of 10. It would maybe be an 8, but it's just a tad too long, and I do have issues with the real life video footage, which stops me from putting it higher. Nonetheless, it's a great documentary. If you have access to HBO Max in any sort of way, I recommend you give it a watch. If you feel up to it, if you're just sensitive to real life violence, etc., please do give it a miss. But apart from that, if you feel like you're up for it, then definitely give it a watch. But thank you very much for watching, ladies and gents. Please feel free to check out more of my videos by clicking on my channel below. But until next time, ladies and gents, so long for now.